There's a moment every man experiences but almost none admit out loud, that split second when you feel something shift in your relationship, and your gut whispers, "She's playing you." Most men ignore that whisper. Smart men don't. Because when a woman starts playing games, it doesn't begin with chaos. It begins with subtle darkness, tiny clues she thinks you won't notice. A laugh at the wrong time. A sudden coldness. A weird change in her eyes. And before you know it, you're trapped inside a psychological maze she built just to see how far she can push you. And the first game, the one almost every manipulative woman uses, is the most silent, the most calculated, and the most dangerous. Game number 1, she hides you. Quietly. Strategically. Intentionally. ***. It doesn't start with cheating. It starts with changing how she presents you to the world. She saves your number under something strange. Tom Hot Beverage. Car Guy. No name. Or just an emoji. She thinks you won't notice. She says it's aesthetic. She says it's privacy. But here's the truth. Backhand index pointing right women don't hide what they're proud of. They hide what they're preparing to replace. When she stopped showing you off, she didn't become private. She became strategic. She wants a safety net. A backup plan. An open door to flirtation she can pretend is innocent. A life where she can explore options without looking disloyal. And here's the hardest truth most men avoid. If she hides your name, she's hiding your role in her life. Not publicly single, but privately available. Not for you. For someone else. The real power move? Silence. ***. Most men confront her. "Why'd you save my number like that? Who are you hiding me from? Just tell me the truth." She loves that. Because now she knows her game is working. You're hooked. You're emotional. You're invested. But a man with self-respect doesn't beg to be acknowledged. He doesn't force clarity. He doesn't chase validation. He observes. He steps back. He lets her, privacy, expose her reality. Your silence will show you everything. If she panics, she still cares. If she doubles down, she's already gone emotionally. If she gets defensive, she's guilty. If she gets colder, she's preparing an exit. Men break when they take her games personally. But here's the truth. It's not about your worth. It's about her options. And a woman exploring options never respects the man she's with. Remember this. Why heavy checkmark a woman in love is transparent. A woman in confusion is distant. A woman in games is hiding something. That's the first psychological game. The silent one. The strategic one. The one every manipulator uses before the chaos begins. She disappears. Constantly. Not accidentally, systematically. In the morning you call, no answer. In the evening you text, "I was busy." On the weekend she managed to meet a friend. And you discover her outing from someone else's story. This isn't busyness. This is training your patience. When her absence becomes the rule, she's teaching you one thing: to wait. And waiting is currency. When you pay with it, she buys freedom. When you pay with attention, she buys options. This game has 2 clever levels. The first, making herself unavailable so you prove your devotion. The second, provoking jealousy strategically to see how you react. Both are tests of your dependence. She hooks you on emotional intervals, sometimes warm and close, sometimes cold, and you start suffering from her fluctuations. This isn't love. This is a method of attachment through deprivation. Deprivation she controls. The reaction? Not shouting. Not questioning. Not dramatic scenes that only feed her. Your defense is maturity and less participation. Instead of proving that you matter, you do simple things. Reduce your own availability. Return to your life. Make plans she either confirms immediately or loses. Your silence isn't defeat. It's a test of her actual intention. If she starts valuing you, she changes her behavior. If her absence remains the rule, you see the truth: she's not with you, she's with her options. The second game, flirting under the cover of just friends. You'll notice it. She laughs too hard at someone else's joke, responds too eagerly to late-night messages, tags men online or has cozy conversations in DMs and calls it nothing. Her goal is to see how much you allow. This isn't just infidelity theater, it's manipulation that breaks your self-esteem piece by piece. You start doubting yourself, asking, "Am I enough?" And eventually, chasing her attention, lowering your value. You must act firm and simple. You establish the boundary immediately and show the consequence. Not by yelling, but with clarity. If we're in a relationship, flirting that crosses the line of respect ends the evening for me. That's how we work. And you follow through. You don't take revenge, don't obsessively check her phone, don't start social media battles. You respond proportionally, and then two things happen quickly. Either she learns to respect your boundaries, or she shows she has none, and that gives you a clean reason to walk. Remember, manipulators survive on emotional reaction. Your quiet discipline is their antidote. Don't try to save a relationship that values your self-sacrifice more than your dignity. When absence becomes normal and flirting becomes a strategy, that's not a game anymore, that's a plan. And a plan in which you are a background option, not a player. There's a moment in every toxic relationship when the games stop being subtle and start becoming bold. She's no longer hiding her attitude, no longer pretending it's just a joke, no longer softening the edges of her disrespect. This is the phase where a woman stops fearing the consequences, because in her mind, she no longer values what she stands to lose. And that's when she begins the next psychological attack. Game 4 is the ego bomb. The "you're lucky to have me" line. At first it sounds playful, teasing, harmless. You laugh, shrug it off, think it's her version of being confident. But pay attention to the pattern. She says it right after she dismisses your feelings. She says it after ignoring your calls. She says it after you compromise again. It's not humor. It's hierarchy. She's telling you where she believes you rank. Below her. And most men react exactly the way she wants. They start proving they are lucky. They give more, try harder, become more accommodating, more forgiving, more invested. They turn into emotional employees, constantly performing to keep their position. But here's the truth. The moment you start auditioning for a relationship you're already in, you've lost power. Because respect doesn't return through effort. It returns through distance. So instead of proving your value, you disappear for a bit. You get busy. You stop responding instantly. You let her feel the silence she thought she'd never experience from you. Women don't respect men who worship them, they respect men they could actually lose. Not because he threatens it, but because he's strong enough to walk without collapsing. But the last game, the fifth game, is the one that should make you walk immediately. Not tomorrow. Not later. Immediately. It's the moment she looks at you and says, "I don't owe you any explanation." This is not independence. This is contempt. It means she wants a relationship without responsibility, your loyalty without her accountability, your emotional investment without her emotional transparency. She wants to behave like she's single while receiving the benefits of having a man who loves her. It's the ultimate red flag. Not because of what she said, but because of the mindset behind it. A woman who respects you will always explain, even when she doesn't have to. A woman who doesn't respect you will refuse to explain, even when she should. And here's where most men break. They start pleading for clarity. They try to reason with her. They chase closure like it's oxygen. But you can't reason with a woman who's already checked out emotionally. All you're doing is negotiating with a door that's already closed. When she says she owes you nothing, believe her, and leave. The truth is, silence will do more for you than any argument ever could. Your absence will teach her what your presence didn't. The moment she realizes you're not fighting, not chasing, not explaining, she understands something terrifying. She can no longer control you. And manipulators hate nothing more than losing emotional leverage. Remember this, love doesn't need games. It doesn't need jealousy, distance, secrecy, or dominance. Love doesn't confuse you, it clarifies you. It doesn't drain your peace, it protects it. When a woman begins playing these games, it's not your role to fix her, heal her, or wait for her to grow up. Your only job is to protect your masculinity, your boundaries, and your peace. Because peace is the one thing manipulators fear the most. A woman who respects you will not risk losing you. A woman who plays games never deserved you. So ask yourself one question, and answer honestly. Which kind of woman are you giving your heart to?